All right. So have you seen Ice Cube officially confirmed it's gonna be another Friday? Have you seen anything going around about that? Because I seen Shannon Sharp talk about it, and I actually seen Ice Cube talk about it.
I
So
seen a I seen a snippet. He was on Sway in the Morning,
right.
and he didn't say too much, but he just said they working on it. I think he said they was gonna start filming in 2025.
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah.
well, first of all, how do you feel about it? Before I even ask my question, how do you honestly feel about having a new Friday movie?
So if we didn't have the proof that it could be successful several times, then I would be like, don't mess with it. Cause when it comes to like some other films, they tried to do like a sequel and it wasn't hitting like that.
Right.
But we seen Friday be successful several times. So the way he's going about it, taking his time, making sure, that it's gonna be right, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be entertaining, and it's not rushed and forced. I feel like it might actually be dope.
Think so? I'm glad you said that, because here's how I feel, and I think I'm gonna make a lot of people mad, because it's about time we really talk about what's really real in this world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you just said, I mean, that's a fact, because all of the Fridays have been successful. However, I feel like with this one being that, okay, so when we did Friday After Next, that's over 20 years already, right? Even Friday
Right.
After Next, that's over 20 years.
Right.
So I think with this one, just the world that we living in today is kind of hard. I feel like, me personally, it's kind of hard to capture the essence of captivating our generation as far as movies, because everything is so sensitive nowadays. So in other words, what I'm saying, I understand he's taking his time to make sure the movie is right, but I feel like it's only going to be like certain things that he can do and certain things that they can say in a movie based on the world we're living in now. It's a sensitive world. Movies are not like the same as they were 20 years ago.
Right.
And I'm gonna just throw this out there really quick. All three Fridays were successful, but in my opinion, Friday After Next was too Hollywood. It was watered down. It was good. You can tell the difference between the original Friday and Next Friday with Friday After Next. I feel like Friday After Next was more on a Hollywood scale that captured, or that was catering to everybody, which is not a problem, because we did get Cat Williams out of it. We did get Terry Crews out of it. So we got some good people out of that movie, but I feel like the aura of that movie was not the same as the original Friday. The original Friday was like from the dirt. And then by the time they got to 3, it was Hollywood.
So I agree with you in a sense, but not fully, because you ain't gonna never get the same. Just like I use it for example, House Party. Of course, 1 was the best, but I love House Party 3 too. And then as I get older, I like 2. I feel like different stages of life, I gravitate to different ones at different times in life. You're not gonna never get the same, but they were all still dope. And then over time, it has to evolve, it has to elevate. It's not gonna stay the same. We would love for that, you know what I'm saying? But you're just not gonna get it. But it still was good, even though it wasn't number 1. I feel like it wasn't bad. It still was good.
Oh no,
I still watch it around, the holiday season and all that. Like you ain't gonna get 1. But if you think about some of the sequels that were like awful, I feel like they didn't ruin the franchise.
Right.
So if you can continue it, it might not be the same. And then it all depends on, if he making the movie or not, what he can do. If he got other people, then it all makes a difference.
Right.
I feel like if they do it right, it can still be good. It might not be Friday. We're not gonna get that again. They didn't even know that they had that. They'll tell you that.
Right.
It was very low budget. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that's when the magic happens. So you ain't gonna get that again.
Right.
But as long as they do a good job and it's funny and they don't ruin it, then I'll be cool with it.
And I agree with you 100%. And I just say that to say, like you mentioned, like other sequels, like no disrespect to Master P, but I got to look at who wasn't hitting on that. I feel like he could have just left that. And it's like I said, no disrespect to Master P.
Yeah.
He had in the movie, because he had some incredible people in the movie, but it didn't give the same.
Didn't give. And I didn't see it. So
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. It's hit or miss. The only reason why I have some faith is because we've seen him do it a few times.
Right. But, and not to cut you off, I feel like I hope he don't oversaturate it with too many people. What I mean by that is we've seen fake movie posters over the years of Hard and Tracy Moore, and no disrespect to them, but what I'm saying is I don't feel like the movie he needs to add all those people to the movie.
I don't think that he is. I really don't.
I just hope now. I do want him to bring Chris Tucker back. Have the core Chris Tucker, of course.
And they already said that if they let DC play his son, then he said he was gonna do it.
See, I will be okay with that because that would be something that would create a story. Smokey had a son, young Fly. Even if Craig decided to bring his son in, you can build a story off of that. But having all these other people like Tiffany Haddish,
I don't think he's gonna overdo. I really don't. I think that's why he's being real hush hush about it.
Right.
Like you said, we've seen all the fake flyers over the time. He wanted to make sure it was bright and it's gonna be dope. It's not gonna be number one. That's why I say it could go either way. But I honestly think I don't think it's gonna be bad. I really don't.
Right. I just
it might not be. It ain't gonna be one. But I really don't think it's gonna be bad. If he move right, because it's no need to. That's what probably happened when I got the hookup. Love Master P, one of my favorites. I didn't even see it. I didn't have an urge to see it because it just didn't. The clips didn't even look. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think that may be where he went wrong.
Right.
Trying to throw all these new people in there just to throw it in there. Like Coming to America too. People got different opinions. I didn't like it at all. I'm sorry.
Right.
I was happy, for the people. Like but I did not like it at all.
Yeah, at all. And see, and that's kind of going back to what I was saying about right. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying about I know we're in a different time and we've evolved and technology has evolved, and once Hollywood, I agree with you with Coming to America too. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I like the movie, but I do know it's not the same as the first one.
You did?
And it couldn't be the same as the first one.
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, it was already like 30 years later, so I wasn't expecting to get the same role I got from the first one. But still, this one felt like it was more of a, how can I put this? This one felt like it was more of like a Disney Channel family movie.
Yes.
Opposed to the first one, it was just straight raw Eddie Murphy.
Correct.
You can still enjoy it with your family, but it still gave you that.
I didn't like it at all. I didn't. This one didn't not even a little bit. I didn't. I'm sorry. So, not even a smidget.
Not a smidget.
No.
It teaches on because it got a lot of mixed reviews.
It did.
I was like, I give Eddie Murphy the E for effort.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, as far as Friday, I'm not gonna say I'm not excited to see it, but I'm for one would have been okay if he would have just said, I'm not gonna do it.
Because everybody wants Chris Tucker to come back. They want the last hurrah.
Right.
So that's the excitement factor. Like I said, if you don't put too much into it, I feel like I could be pleasantly surprised. I'm not expecting one. But that's why I said the only reason why I'm leaning more, I'm not 100, but I'm leaning more, maybe like 85%, because I've seen him do it more than once.
Right.
That's the reason.
Right. I just hope they send Pops off with a proper send off in the movie. They have to
and not nothing crazy.
And why I say that, because some people, and not saying Ice Cube, but just people in general, they have a tendency of making these movies and just forgetting about the characters. They don't explain what happened to the characters.
Or they do something crazy, like really.
And
really?
I hope Ice Cube actually, of course we know he passed in real life.
Right.
So I hope he incorporates in the movie, like,
I'm sure.
He got older, of course.
They can do a funeral scene. I can see the uncle talking about, Willie, you know what I'm saying? Your damn Willie, like.
Yeah. So
something crazy.
I am hoping for that. But
if they make it into a joke. Not a joke, but you get what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that'd be better.
A comedic twist on it. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that don't
happen. First of all, let me tell you something. I would never watch Best Man 2 again in my life. Ever.
That's the one she passed, right?
First of all, we know Best Man was a romantic comedy, correct?
Right.
It came out during the holidays, during Christmas time when it came out, and I was so excited. Me and all my friends went to the movies, and I was like, why would y'all do this?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. They need to make it more comedic, because if this is a rom-com, like that.
Right.
It's like the movies. Like,
yeah,
that
one was kind of like, I mean, I like the movie, but if I had to, speaking of that, if I had to rank them, that probably would be my least favorite one, just based on the fact that they made it too like dark.
Right.
After a while, you start seeing she start getting sick. You already knew what was going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't take the origin of the movie and turn it to something else.
Right.
Because it's a comedy. We know life happens, so I'm like, you can put that in there, but make it more comedic. Like, people acting a fool at the funeral or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Make it more comedic. Now, when they did come back with that series was popping. That's what I'm saying. It just depends on how you do it.
Right.
Did you watch The Best Man Chronicles?
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm like, they need a season 2.
Yeah, they do.
They were popping.
They left off. The way they left off. We need to know what happened.
Yeah. You know, so we see it can be done. You just need the right writers, and don't be trying to do something just because it seems like it's in.
Right.
You see, when you stick to the program, it works.
Right. Well,
the people who it's supposed to stick to is gonna stick to.
Right.
Because I thought the Chronicles was gonna be whack. I ain't gonna lie. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Yeah.
That shit was dope. So, if you had to rank the movies, the Friday movies, in your order, what would you rank?
I'm probably gonna go 1, of course. Then I'm gonna go Friday after next. Then I'll go next Friday. Now, if you would have asked me back in the day, I probably would have put next Friday second.
Right.
But I don't know. Now it's kind of become like a little holiday favorite. Like, I don't know. So that's where I'm at with it right now. So
you would go 1. So you just say 1, 3, 2. Friday after next, and next Friday.
Right.
Me personally, they already in order for me. 1, 2, and 3. I kind of want to put 2 before 1, but I just can't because 1 is the OG.
Right.
And but I like 2. I like 2 because I feel like it introduced Mike Epps to the world that we never like. I didn't know Mike Epps before that, even though Mike Epps appeared in other things. But I think
Def Jam and all that. Right. But we didn't know he wasn't big.
He wasn't big, so that introduced him to the world in a whole nother light. And to this day, I tell people all the time, you got to give, no matter how they feel about Mike Epps today, you got to give him his credit, because that was some big shoes to fill, because he was following up in Smokey's footsteps, whether people want to admit it or not. He was following in Smokey's footsteps, so that was some big shoes he had to fill. He made it, because Day is, as much as Smokey is an iconic character, I put Day in the same lane.
No, for sure.
Day is
and he was able to do it twice. That's why I said it could work.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like next Friday, like that movie wouldn't have worked without Day. Like I don't see nobody else. With the character and Mike Epps, if he wouldn't even never wrote the character Day in, and I think he would have probably tried to go a different approach to the sequel. I don't think it would have worked. Like Day made that movie. You know what I mean?
And I like them all. Like I said, if you would have asked me back in the day, I probably would have went in that order. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old and reaching auntie status or whatever.
But shit. It's like the older I'm the same way about a lot of movies now. It's like the older I'm getting and I'm starting to watch these movies. There's a lot of movies that I didn't like back then that I like now. And then there's a lot of movies that I like
that you liked, and then
I don't even like that shit no more.
No more. That's how I am about movies, music. Yeah. Like it was like certain albums. Like, okay, this is my favorite album by this person, and now it's like, ooh, no, this one hit different.
Right. Right.
It depends on where you at in life, and
Right. And so that brings me to my next point, because Love Jones is one of those movies that I don't like. As it right now, I don't know what it is. When I was younger, I liked that movie, but now it's like I watch it. I don't know. It's just something about it now. It's like,
my goodness.
I don't know, man. I guess I'm just too picky or too analytical.
you?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad
movie. I freaking love that movie. Okay.
It's just
I just knew I was gonna grow up and go to Chicago, put on a leather jacket, ride on the back of a nigga bike.
But see, the thing with Love Jones, and I hate to say this, but it's like now that I go back and I analyze it, to me, it's like you don't feel like he was giving like stalker vibes. Like you found the lady's address after she came. That's like stalker shit. She came and bought a record or whatever she bought. You got the address off the chick. You showed up to the lady house. Come on, dog.
In 2024, that's stalker. Back in the day, we did stuff like that.
That was romantic. So if a nigga did that back in the 90s.
Even this is the thing. If you always know if you like a person, they can get away with some stuff other people can't. It becomes you already know that. Now I wouldn't play those games now at all because people be crazy for real. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, you already know if you like a person, they can get away with a little more stuff. I had a person I like do a pop-up. It's like, what are you doing here? But you still let them in. Let somebody you didn't like try that. They probably gonna be outside. Probably not gonna open the door.
Yeah.
We did all kinds. Listen, I was like Alicia Keys one time. Hey, this is the way she. For real, I remember a long time ago. My cousin gave me his old phone. My phone broke. You remember when you switch phones and the number still be in there? Mm-hmm. And all his contacts was in there. And this is around the time when Katrina happened or whatever. And I went through a phase with New Orleans dudes and dress and stuff. And his partner was in his phone. And it said 504 next to it. And I was like, I wonder what he looked like. Like, who does that? I love this man. And he pulled up on me.
Damn.
I was like, you got some dreads? You got some tips? I was probably like 18 or 19. I was probably like 18 years old. But you see what I'm saying? We did crazy stuff like that. Like, who does that? I didn't even know this man, and I called him.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got some dreads? You got some tips?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm sitting here talking about this dude on Love Jones, and I ain't gonna lie. I did that shit before. When I was working for Lowe's, this girl came through and I liked her because she was fine and all that, but I was scared to talk to her. Plus, I was at work, so you can't fraternize with customers. So, of course, when she paid with her debit card and she left, I looked up her receipt, and on the receipts, they got your name on there. If you pay with your debit card, it show your name. So and I looked up her receipt and I got her name. I ain't gonna lie, shit. I got on Facebook and I found her. So I waited like a day. And then I sent her a message. And I'm like, hey, I don't even remember what I said. Whatever I said, I was like, hey, this is, I saw you at blah, 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 blah. This lady cursed me the fuck out.
Well,
cursed me out.
You took, hey, that's what happened. You was taking a check. She didn't know
like,
you.
She was like, don't you ever. She was like, I'm going to come in there and tell your manager, and this is creepy. And I'm like, man, I ain't mean no harm.
That was a little creepy, man.
But that's what he did.
I love Jones. At least they had a little flirting happening. They actually talked. Did you even have a conversation with the lady?
Yeah, hello and bye. That was good enough.
No. Oh, that was creepy.
Man,
that was very creepy.
Man, if I was to see that woman today, I wouldn't even know what she looked. I wouldn't even recognize her. But I guess
I had actually ended up talking to the friend. It didn't go nowhere, but.
Yeah.
Actually, look, thank God he was killed. Like, no. Like, bro, chill out.
We on here talking. We on here doing this movie shit. The shit they doing on these movies, we out here doing this shit, taking chances and calling people and searching them up.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do those things anymore.
Yeah,
people are weirdos. No, thank you.
Yeah, this is a crazy world.
Yeah, no.
So you say you like Love Jones. So
I freaking love
Love Jones. Excuse me.
The poetry, everything.
You love
now,
Love Jones.
I will say I feel like some of the stuff could have been avoided.
Right.
Like to me, certain parts was like y'all adults, but then I'm like, okay, they seem so mature in the movie, but they probably were like mid 20s on there.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking about when we was in the 20s, like right. Communication issues. So because I be analyzing stuff now, and I be getting mad because I be like, well, why the hell y'all just ain't? I'm like, this could have been avoided, but you're young.
And that's what I'm saying about when I go back and watch some of these movies, and because when you get older, you've been through some things. Now you understand a lot of things a whole a lot better than you did when you were younger.
Right.
So I'm looking at this shit like, well, I would have never did that, or why y'all doing that? And I'm like, man, this shit really kind of, I ain't gonna say, because I know that's your favorite movie, so I ain't gonna say it's dumb. But I'm looking at it like, man, this.
But some of the
crazy
stuff they did do on there was dumb. I love the whole idea, the whole thing. You know, I'm real eclectic in the culture and the poetry and the vibes and the leather jackets and the, you know what I'm saying? So it was multiple reasons why I love to see black people in a different light. Because there was, you know, I love all the movies and all that.
Right.
But I like when they painted different pictures for us, like this group of friends that's in the, even though they're from Chicago, they're in the poetry and they hang out and they have games. Like, you get what I'm saying? I like to see like different versions of us. Right.
So which movie you think had a better love story? And I already think I know your answer. But Love Jones was one of the options. You got Brown Sugar and you got Love and Basketball.
I'm definitely gonna go Love Jones. I'll tell you this: when I was like in middle school, when Love and Basketball came out, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. But as you get older, I was like, it's okay. I love it. Nah, it's a good movie, and I love anything Omar Epps in because that's like one of my favorite actors.
Right.
But it wasn't all that I thought it was when I was younger. It's actually kind of basic.
And a lot of people are, for like the past couple of years, I've been seeing people say that. Like people have been making like statuses about Love and Basketball, and they're saying the same thing you saying. Like, I can't believe when I was younger, I thought this movie was everything. As I get older, this movie is trash. People calling the movie trash. Like,
no, I ain't gonna go there. It's not trash. It's a cute little film, but what I'm saying is like as I get older, I think it's not as romantic as I thought.
Thought it was, right?
You know what I'm saying? But like, and then I'm always, when they try to attack Quincy, I'm always like going against that.
Right.
I don't do the Quincy slander.
To be honest with you, it wasn't really nothing to attack him for in the movie. In my eyes, I felt like he may have broke her heart when he decided he wanted to break up and go to the NBA.
Right.
But I feel like throughout that movie, he really like did nothing wrong as far as chasing his dreams, trying to follow his career. I know he was going through the things he was going through with his family, his father let him down, and all that stuff. And like I said, I felt for Monica or Sanaa Lathan, whichever one we want to call her.
Right.
Because I know, ultimately she was in love with him, but she should have known, her being a basketball player herself, she had to make a decision too. She made a decision to go to practice instead of being there for him. So he had to make the same decision, like, hey, this is my chance to go pro. Let me go and get up out of here. It didn't work out for him, but he had to take that chance.
Right.
Love her.
It does. And like I said, I'm with you. When people do the whole, he was a narcissist, I'll take the time out of my day and be like, look here. These people was 18 years old in college. Stop the crap. Right. He was going through something at home. Because when I was younger, I was like, why are you so mad at his dad? I'm like, that's still your dad. And I still stand by that. But I'm like, at the end of the day, if somebody grew up with both their parents in the house, which I did not, you know what I'm saying? It's different.
Right.
So I understand why he was so hurt. Because at first, I could never get it. When I was younger, I'm like, yeah, that's messed up. But I was like, bro, why you so mad at your dad? Right. You know what I'm saying? But now I get it. But I also feel like he shouldn't have treated his dad like that. Like, yeah, your daddy made a mistake. He was a bad husband, but he still was a good dad. People don't know how to separate. That's him and your mother's relationship. Right. Like, your daddy still took care of you, raised you, and taught you how to play basketball. Right. And for him to treat his daddy like he did, I just wasn't feeling that. Now that, I wasn't feeling that. Now with the whole thing, he was tripping. He could have understood because, like you said, they both were basketball players. She did come to talk with him. I got curfew. I was like, call me on the phone. Right. We could talk about this. We could meet tomorrow. But he wanted all or nothing. So he was selfish. But I get it. You young. You was in your emotions. You was hurt. So I was like, they both was young. I'm like, get out of here. It's like, he was such a narcissist. I'm like, man, these people was 18 years old. Stop.
Yeah, they ain't on the day, y'all. They haven't even began to go through nothing really in life. That's little minor shit. You know what I mean? So,
But I would have got my man back. She can't go too easy.
And it worked out
too easy.
Yeah, but see, it worked out in the end.
50 years later, but okay. Okay, you have to play him for his heart and all that. And I ain't got time for all that. I would have got my man back. You would have me messed up.
Sometimes, yeah. But see, what if sometimes you have to let it play its course. Because what if you rush the situation, you end up digging yourself in a deeper hole? Maybe they needed this 7-year separation for them to really realize that whether basketball is involved or not, like they knew they were soulmates when they were kids. They knew that. They knew that. But of course you're gonna go through some things. You're gonna go through
I don't know if I could have handled. Like, he had a little bit too much pride for me, though, because I was not going to be begging you to play basketball for you to choose me. Now, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
That was too much now. I never told you how I feel. She waited a long time. Now, that, I ain't going to lie, that was very crazy because that man was about to get married. So, I don't even think I would have did that, honestly. I would have probably tried to shoot my shot way before that.
Right.
Because that was very risky. Like, he could have ended up hating her, and that was a little crazy. Because he was just about to get married, so.
Well, I think a part of him actually did. He, when she told him that, he said that, like, you don't pull this shit on somebody that's finna get married.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think part of him was like, he kind of resented her for that, but ultimately he still knew that he really loved. His heart was really with her, because after he beat her in basketball and dunked on her or whatever, and she started walking away. He stood there and thought about it for a minute, like, fuck it, this is who
But why did you have to do all that first?
Yeah.
Let me make a fool of you after you'd already begged me at what o'clock in the morning. Let me make a fool of you and make you feel bad. Now, that's the only part I wasn't fooling with. Let me make you feel bad and walk off and cry and be hurt to the ground. Then be like, you know what? I'd be like, oh, it's too late.
Man, this shit crazy. Damn, this shit going quick. We got 10 minutes left already. All right. So with these last 10 minutes, I'm going to get you to rank these movies. And we ain't got to really go into detail about them, but you can just rank them.
Okay.
The Wood, The Best Man, The Brothers, and The Inkwell.
They already in order.
They in order? That's your order?
Yep.
The Wood, The Best Man, The Brothers, and The Inkwell?
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go with The Best Man.
Before The Wood?
Nah, you're right.
Are you kidding me?
Nah, you're right. I think The Wood, The Best Man. The Brothers, The Inkwell. I don't know. I think The Brothers and The Inkwell could be interchangeable. And the only reason I say that is I ain't gonna lie, The Brothers is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I could watch this shit anytime and come on.
And I like it. I started liking it more later. When it first came out, I was like, yeah. But now I'm like, okay, this is a cute little, cool little film.
Yeah, that's a dope. That was a dope film. I like. I mean, the whole aspect of his daddy messing with the chick.
That was a little wild. That was a little crazy.
A little wild. You know what I mean?
She should have just shut up. I wouldn't have left no voicemail, no nothing. But like, we gonna take this to the.
But see, that's it. So situations like that, like, it's easier said than done, because I've never been in a situation.
That's her man's daddy.
I know
nothing. And then she said they didn't sleep together. What is he saying something for?
Well, yeah, that's true too. She said they didn't sleep together.
Yes, ain't nothing to be said.
It's a slippery slope. You right, but eventually, I think sometimes shit like that eventually comes out. So the longer she would have waited, and it would have came out, let's just say they would have been in marital bliss, happy, and it just came out 5-10 years later.
It ain't coming out unless somebody say something. They weren't doing camera phones and stuff like that then. Unless one of them open their mouth.
Man, I don't know. I'm just speaking from if I was in more
in that situation.
What I want to know, or what I
something like that. Some stuff people don't. That's my thing. I feel like if it's something that needs to be discussed, then yeah, because I'm trying to, I would want to do right going into marriage and all that. But I'm like, if it's, I guess you're right. It should have been known, but look how it almost was over for them because of it. So I'm like, would you want to take that chance for something that wasn't even nothing?
Yeah, that nigga took that shit so hard. That nigga.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody. So I'm like, if it wasn't even nothing, what is we talking about?
But then on the flip side of that, boys set themselves up all the time for the okie doke. And the reason I say that is because honestly, and I'm a man, but I'm just saying in all honesty, he shouldn't even cross that line with her like that fast in the first place. As soon as he met her, they didn't even know each other for a whole week. He met her that day, and they already smashed. He in love. How y'all in love, and you just met her at the park?
Right.
So when you got shit like that going on, it's like, okay,
it confuses everything.
You know her like that, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So even if she was to come out and say, hey, right there and there, hey man, I really can't miss. I'm saying it because I don't understand why he was so mad. Even if she was to come out and say, hey, I can't really miss like that.
It's very weird. Like, I would feel some type of way. I think anybody would. Like, that's like somebody saying, oh, you used to talk to my mama. What? You know what I'm saying? And even though they didn't have, he shouldn't have been mad at her because it ain't like she did nothing wrong. I guess because she didn't tell him immediately. But I'm like, and when he did, now there ain't nothing to tell you.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying, I would feel some type of way too, but I wouldn't. The way he shut her out.
You like say that. That's your daddy, man. Yeah, that's your dad. That ain't your partner. That's your daddy.
I understand, but then I also got to look at it from where do I put fault in myself in this for trying to fall in love with somebody I just met 3 hours ago.
Right.
So if I don't know you,
and then that's a coincidence. And how would she even know that's your dad? Like you said, he ain't had no pictures of him because they had a weird relationship. You know what I'm saying? That could have been anybody.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So if I was in that situation and I met a woman and let's say like the day later, I invite her to my family reunion and then my daddy walk up and then she look at him like, oh shit. If she was to tell me right then and there, hey man, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and you, this is gonna be awkward because I went on a couple dates with your daddy. I wouldn't even be mad. I'll be like, man, this kind of awkward, this weird.
How does one say that? I'm
not finna be mad at you and like, man, lose my number, fuck you, block you, because I just met you.
But you know why though? And I'm not taking up for him, but he already said he was going to the therapist. He had issues with commitment. So who knows what happened before in his life. So he finally found somebody, even though it was very fast, like you said, very quick. Y'all back with each other.
Quick.
Yeah, sex confuses things. So we don't even know if they lasted. But anyway, he let his guard down finally. He felt like, look what happens.
Right.
When I let my guard down. Then he had daddy issues. It was so much, I don't even think it was really her. I think it was him.
Right. Like I said, in all these movies, it's proven that love hurts. That shit gonna attack you.
I'm not gonna say this. Now, I would have agreed with that some years ago. The more I heal and work on myself, no, it don't hurt. When it's not right, when it's incorrect love, it hurts. Because when two people love each other, when you love somebody, you don't want to see them hurt. It can happen on accident. You know what I'm saying? But if you really love somebody, you don't want to see them hurt. People that hurt each other intentionally, they don't love each other.
They don't love each other.
They're in lust. They have sex, and it mixes everything up. Like, no, it don't. Just like you have some friendships with people that you love. You might have some ups and downs, but if y'all really good friends, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna want to see your friend hurt. You're not gonna intentionally try to hurt them. Something can happen on accident, something you did, and you can hurt them. But if y'all really love each other, really care about each other, y'all can come to agreement and y'all can talk about it and work it out. So when love is correct, if it's done correctly, it don't hurt.
Right.
A lot of that crap don't be people that love each other. Like we just said, I know it's just a movie, but I'm just saying, I'll be around here analyzing stuff. But I'm just saying. They didn't even know each other. So they probably wasn't in love.
Right.
They was in high lust.
Right.
He probably liked her. Because how do you know if you really love somebody if y'all haven't experienced life together?
Right.
If you haven't been through nothing together, or you haven't, you know what I'm saying? You can really connect with people quickly. I'm not gonna say that. Because I didn't met friends before that. It's like, man, and we still friends.
Right.
Quickly.
Right.
But you don't know if you really love somebody until you see them in all like seasons of life.
Right,
like when they hit rock bottom, they grieve and they lost somebody. You don't know.
Right.
That's when you know, when you can actually survive some stuff if you really love somebody. So a lot of that crap don't be love. That's why I be hurting.
Right. I agree with that. That is damn so the damn truth. So really, really quick, I don't know if you've seen it, but last year or year before last, they made an announcement about doing a sequel or a TV show to The Wood. Now I ain't seen nothing else since.
To The Wood.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing a TV show.
Well, that could be cool.
Yeah, I just want to see how this gonna play out. I don't know if it's gonna be a continuation from where they left off, or it's gonna be characters. I seen it. I seen them talk about it maybe like a year ago, but I haven't seen nothing about it since. I think that would be a cool little series to put on the same way they did for The Best Man.
Yeah,
you know, something they could throw on Hulu or Netflix or whatever. You know,
correct.
So you would be for that?
Yeah, and I think it can go two different ways depending on how it's done. Like it can be a continuation, like you said, like The Best Man, or even if it's like reimagined, like how they did what's my show? Like with Fresh Prince, Bel-Air.
Yeah,
I love Bel-Air.
Yeah,
it's totally different, but I'm like, okay, y'all done F it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course not.
So it could be like a reimagined thing if they do it right.
If they do it right.
Or it could be a continuation like the Best Man. I'll be into that. Right. I think if it's done, it's all about how it's done. Right. You gotta have the right writers. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what it really would it. You know what I'm saying? The right cast and the right writers.
I just hope they don't do like they did. I don't know if you went to Everybody Hates Chris, but you know they got the animated show now.
I never seen the animated show. I heard about it.
I'll be watching it. It's not bad. It's actually good, but I can't get used to it being a cartoon. That's what keeps throwing me off. And it's an actual.
Is it